Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Dana. I upload new videos at least once a week. Usually there's something tea related, but sometimes I change it up a little bit. Today I have a new tea from DAVIDSTea to try. It is called Green Apple Kombucha. Alright, so before we do anything else, let's get our tea steeping. I got a new variable temperature kettle for my bridal shower, and it has been life-changing because I drink mostly green teas. So usually I'd have to either just like make it with boiling water because I had just a regular kettle that only boils, or heat it up, let it boil, and then wait a while for it to cool off enough to not oversteep the leaves or burn them. But now I have this new fancy variable temperature kettle that I've wanted for literally years, and it has been like so life-changing so far. Okay, so we have our tea steeping at the perfect temperature for green tea, and I'm gonna set our cup to the side so we can check out that loose tea. Green Apple Kombucha is a green tea, and it says, we gave this tart green apple kombucha an extra dusting of energizing matcha. The ingredients are sencha green tea, ginger, apple, kombucha powder, matcha green tea, and natural flavoring. So this tea is like right up my alley. It is not only a green tea with ginger, but also it's dusted in matcha. And you know how I always want to get in those extra antioxidants whenever I can. The day that I'm filming this, we are very close to 30 days out from our wedding. And the day I upload this, we will be 4 weeks away. Like, it's literally a month away from our wedding. So I'm making it a goal for myself to have matcha every day. And while I'm not gonna count this cup of tea as like my daily matcha because it's only like dusted with matcha, it's not like actual matcha. I mean, I'll take as much as I can get because those antioxidants are just so wonderful for your whole like being, honestly. First of all, it gives you like a nice clean energy that makes you feel really good. But to have a little extra dose of that and a little extra dose of my antioxidants to make me, you know, energized, help my skin and my hair, all of that is all good. And this smells really good. DAVIDSTea did like, for their cocktail collection, they did a couple like sour teas. Like they did a sour watermelon one year and they did a sour apple teeny. And those were really good. I actually liked like the sour aspect of a tea. It tasted like a Jolly Rancher sort of thing. It wasn't like crazy sour, but just having like a little bit of sourness in the tea is something I really like, especially iced. So here is how the tea looks in the spoon. I definitely see those tea leaves and the ginger and the apple. The tea leaves are big too, which I love. It doesn't really look that dusted with matcha. Like, I don't see a whole lot of like powdery green goodness on this. This does have kombucha powder in it. Kombucha is a live probiotic. When I worked at DAVIDSTea, there were some customers that I met who would come in to buy tea specifically to make kombucha at home. And they were really into it, and it seems like a really cool process. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know that like, it's like alive. It's literally like live probiotics that are super good for your gut health and your stomach. So it's really nice to get in those probiotics too. My fiance is a huge fan of kombucha drinks. Whenever we go to the grocery store, he is always tempted to pick one up. Most of the time he does. DAVIDSTea has another kombucha tea called Happy Kombucha. It's an oolong tea. That one has like a mango flavor in it. So it was never like my very favorite because I'm just not that crazy about mango teas. So I think like as far as a kombucha tea, I think this one is going to be a winner for me. I wasn't super interested when I heard the name, like when I heard Green Apple Kombucha. I do have a whole tin of Honeycrisp Apple from DAVIDSTea. It's like another green tea with apple flavor. And I just am not into it. Like I haven't drank it in probably at least a year. So when I heard Green Apple Kombucha, I was like, I think I'm gonna pass on that one, honestly. Like I was just like, it doesn't really sound like something I'd love. Like I don't think it's really worth trying. But I went into the store to buy something else and I'm like, I might as well smell it, that's free. So I went and I smelled it and I'm like, this is ginger. So when I smelled that it's like a green tea with ginger, I took a look at the ingredients and I was like, this sounds really good actually. So I did decide to pick it up. I like that there are so few ingredients, like it's pretty simple, but you could definitely tell that there's some like natural flavorings in here because the smell of apple is so strong. And so many teas have apple that aren't even apple flavored. Like apples don't really provide flavor to your tea. They kind of just provide like a little bit of sweetness. To get like the apple flavor in a tea is like no easy task. So I don't know if like the kombucha powder comes flavored, like maybe the kombucha powder is apple flavored. And see if I go on the DAVIDSTea website, I could maybe see if there are some sub-ingredients because that might be interesting. Ooh, so this has a bit more information. Sometimes on the website, there's like a ton more information on the description of the tea than there is on the actual like label that they print out for you when you buy it. But there were a couple times where I looked and there was just like nothing additional, like it was just the same. But this actually looks like a lot more. So the description here says, ready to bring the thunder, this refreshing matcha boosted green tea is a real force of nature. Bursting with tart green apple, digestion friendly kombucha, spicy ginger, and a dusting of energizing stone ground green tea, it's a revitalizing way to power up and keep your gut happy. 1 cup of this fruity kombucha tea is all it takes to make you feel unstoppable. So that was a little bit like more fun than the description we read on here. This is like just like 1 sentence, and this is like a good like beefy like full description, which I appreciate. How it tastes. Tart green apple balanced with sweet ginger heat. What makes it great? Not only is kombucha well loved for its gut health benefits, it's also said to have a detoxifying effect and increased mental clarity. Then it says, it's dusted with antioxidant-rich matcha green tea to give you a boost of energy. Makes an amazing pick-me-up, hot or iced. So let's see the ingredients, because I want to see the sub-ingredients. Okay, so same thing we read, sencha, green tea, ginger, apple, kombucha powder. Okay, here are the sub-ingredients of the kombucha powder. Maltodextrin, green tea, herbal blend, cane sugar, water, and kombucha culture. So there doesn't seem to be any sort of flavoring in there except maybe the herbal blend. So maybe they put some extra apple in the herbal blend because it does smell strongly like a sour apple airhead, or like a sour apple, like a Jolly Rancher or something. I definitely smell that sour apple, and the ginger is just really like kicking it up, and I love that ginger. Okay, so I think we are good to take out the infuser, and then we could maybe take a look at the tea for a few minutes while we let it cool a little bit more. But it's not like coming down off a boil, so it's not like super hot to where I'm gonna like burn my mouth. It's like a nice comfortable temperature, but I'm gonna set it aside for 1 minute so we can look at that tea, because you know I love doing that. It looks like the tea leaves really opened up, which I love. This isn't an oolong tea, this is just a green tea, but they did the thing and I appreciate them for that. So this is how it looks now that the leaves have been steeped. And let me pull out a leaf just for reference so you can see the magic of the leaf opening up. Ta-da! So it started out looking like something like this when it was dry. Okay, let's just go ahead and try it. I'm definitely not getting that green apple taste as strongly as I would have expected by the smell. That's for sure. And I'm not getting the ginger flavor as strongly either. It's very light. So kombucha usually has sort of a vinegary taste. This definitely doesn't. I like to drink apple cider vinegar for like the health benefits, but also I like the taste because I'm really weird. I don't inherently mind the vinegary aspects of kombucha, but just an observation, I'm not tasting it in this. And it might be weird with tea anyway. My fiance cleans our tea kettle with vinegar, One time I accidentally made like a green tea while there was still some vinegar in the kettle, and it tasted horrible. I was like, what happened? What is going on here? Why does it taste like this? Like I didn't know there was vinegar in there. So I was just like, yikes, what is this? But this, like, I guess with the kombucha, I was kind of expecting it maybe to have like a vinegary, like acidic taste, but it definitely doesn't. A tiny bit of the fruitiness, it does, like a tiny bit of the green apple, but definitely not as strong as the smell was. So one of you guys commented on one of my videos and said that you think it would be really cool and helpful if, instead of just like telling you guys what I think of the first few sips of the tea, if I could drink like maybe the whole thing off camera and then sort of like sort of do a recap at the end of what I thought. Instead of, you know, just my first impression, to give you a little bit more in depth. I have thought of a couple different ways. Maybe I could film a second video like while I'm drinking it, where I just talk about like some different topics and post it as a second video per week. So I do have a couple ideas floating around, and I'm definitely gonna do that, just probably after the wedding, because right now I just don't have time for 2 uploads a week, but I do have a plan for after the wedding to like sort of make it a little extra special by giving you guys a little more content. So hopefully I can make that work. But for now, I'm just gonna try to like stay on camera and see what else I can say about the tea. And I do really want to thank you for that feedback. If I can put the name of who said it, I think that was a smart piece of advice. So I'm gonna take my time with it today. If I were to compare this to any other tea, I guess I would compare it to the Honeycrisp apple from DAVIDSTea. That one is another green tea, another apple flavored one, but it is pretty different because it doesn't have ginger and it doesn't have like obviously the kombucha aspect. It is just like a green tea that's meant to taste like a fresh Honeycrisp apple. Like I was saying before, it's hard to translate the apple flavor into a tea because apple is used mostly as a sweetening ingredient. Like if you look at like let me just grab any tea and see if it has apple. Colada from DAVIDSTea. This one is not an apple tea in any way, shape, or form. Like you don't taste apple at all when you drink this. This tastes like a pina colada. It's a really fun iced tea to drink, but it does have apple in it as its 4th ingredient. So in most cases, apple in tea isn't used to make an apple flavored tea. Usually just added in there to add like a little bit of natural sweetness to the tea because it just doesn't really have such a strong flavor to begin with. So I'm not really sure how they got the flavor into the Honeycrisp apple. I have that in one of those tins up there, but I don't have a label on it, so I can't really look back at the ingredients. But this one is definitely much lighter in the apple flavor. So the smell compared to the taste is definitely very different because it smells like candy. Like it smells like an apple flavored candy in the loose tea, but then when I'm drinking it, I'm just not really getting that. And if I am, it's very, very light. It's like the lightest hint of apple. And you know what else? It's a light hint of ginger too. I am actually tasting the green tea the most, I think. So while I don't think this is like gonna be my new favorite, like most excellent tea I've ever tried, nothing like that, I like it. I'm definitely gonna drink through what I have. I'm not gonna like struggle to do that because it's just a nice like light green tea. So if I had the option to buy either this or Honeycrisp apple, I'd probably pick this because Honeycrisp apple has hibiscus in it, and I just don't like hibiscus. And there is a little bit of ginger in this, and is like, as much as I'd like for there to be more, I think I'd probably always pick a tea with ginger in it over one without any. I think for the most part, that's sort of a rule of thumb for me. So I'm about halfway through the cup. And I mean, it's good. It's just nothing like spectacularly special. So I'd say that I won't buy this one again. I do like that there's matcha in it, but I don't really think, like, you could tell even by the color, it still just looks like a regular green tea. Like it doesn't really look like any more green, you know? Like it's still like that kind of yellowy goldy color that a green tea would normally be. Usually I notice when teas are dusted in matcha, it's sort of a little bit more opaque and you can kind of see, like I guess I see it a little bit settled on the bottom, but I just think I'd pass on this one. It's nothing like extremely special. I'd rather just like drink kombucha from the store. But to me, like, I don't think I would know that there was like meant to be such a strong apple flavor in this. Like if I tried it, I don't think I would have guessed that the name of this would be Green Apple Kombucha. All right guys, so there is my first impression of the Green Apple Kombucha. Nothing that really stands out about it a whole lot, and the lack of apple flavor, like compared to the smell, is a little bit of a disappointment. So I guess if I was really looking for apple, I'd be like kind of upset, but just for what it is, it's really not bad. I think it's safe to say you could pass on this one. I wish it had more matcha and I wish it had more of the green apple flavor like the smell did. I hope you're having a beautiful day and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.